You read it the first few times, you didn't know what it was. Oh, hi, Eddie.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to waive the reading of this. Approve.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Old business, follow up on ordinance violation. Paul?
We just got, a couple from last month to follow up on some rabies shots for a couple dog bites. One's got to get issued a ticket, the other one, I need to actually verify the status of their shots. They gave me a record, but they submitted it with a post-it that said, well, this is actually for 3 years, not one. So I need to check with the vet to see. And, their paperwork from the vet says one, but their post-it says 3. So we'll find out. So I may be issuing 2 tickets for not keeping or for keeping unvaccinated animal.
Okay.
I've got 2 yards that I've got complaints on, or 1 yard and 1 surround the street signs that I've got complaint on for weeds that I got to follow up on. And then I've got a part to take care of over here on Weston Street. That's it.
I heard that there was a property over on the lake, but you can only see it from lakeside. Wasn't that what the problem with one? Nothing was being done with that one.
Was that the one the Amish owned, they weren't mowing that one. But I don't think I checked to see if they mowed it. And then
It was down by
Darren
Streetside.
Elliott mowed his. Finally,
Where Steve got a
probably was Darren's because
something.
he's done it, but he didn't actually mow it.
Okay.
I don't think it's grown that much since he mowed it. You would have never known it because you don't see it.
Yeah, if it's on the lakeside, I'm not gonna see it.
So he would have needed to let us that actually if I paid attention, I would have turned it in, but I wasn't paying any attention when I was out there.
I got a text message today for 399 Jackson Street. And that is what it says. There's a 399 Jefferson that looks like it could use a good mom.
That might be the one I need to follow up on.
And Nancy.
Across from the school, Nancy Bruce.
Nancy Bruce.
Yeah, that's one I got to follow up on. I tried calling, the owner, Cheryl Boyer, Friday several times. And it would, the phone would pick up. And then, so,
Well, in her text, she said she contacted you a month ago.
Yeah.
So now we've.
well, she called when I was gone out of town, but I had called, like I said, I called Cheryl 3 times. No answer, because I figured that'd be quicker than sending a letter. Her son was renting there, he moved out.
That was
Yeah. So he moved out last month, I don't know what that was last month, but it's just before they did the job cleanup. So I'll send a letter, and like I said, I tried going 3 times.
Is it something that can be taken care of through children?
It's not so much the yard as it is like horse weeds that have grown up on the fence, around the garage, backside of the house.
Because the letter off, you could post it in the town, can have somebody go in and do it when they leave their property.
Okay. I told her I would get back to her after this evening.
I don't know what the time frame is, they have to wait, I can't remember what that is.
5 days.
And you said that letter registered, so that you know when they received them?
Used to be, that we had to send it, registered mail. And then they changed the law, so now we can just stick it in the mail, and 5 days from the date of the letter,
Okay,
whether they get it or not, 5 days from the date of the letter.
all right.
And then it would be like the company that we have mows on Mondays, so depending on when that falls, like next Monday or Monday.
Okay. Sewer rates, then.
We are still waiting back from the Indian rural community. They got all the information. They're just working through it. I haven't really looked anymore. So I'm hoping we can have something by our next meeting. So that way we can decide what we want to do, whether we want to raise it or not, prior to us getting the new books ordered. We don't have to manually change.
Well, we know it's gonna go up.
Yeah, we know it's
We
gonna
already
go.
know that.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't know how much or whatever until we get the rate.
Right.
Okay. What station?
So when's the last day that we could have the rate before the new books get printed, so we don't miss that date?
I can email them to find out. I'll only take them to.
As long as I take when the new books up.
Yeah, that's what I can tell.
Yeah, then it
Yeah.
changes to come through.
After you get that date, just send us out an email so we know we have time.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What station? We have.
This is the word we had last month and we weren't positive about the money in the account. But we approved it per having the money in the account. She didn't. I let you know that we had enough money in there. So we're just looking, we're going ahead and getting that scheduled for that work to be done.
Okay, great. Sure, great.
We got denied the trailer grant. And it doesn't appear, that for me to, reapply for it because it's not eligible under the AWS, guidelines.
Okay.
So, Leah and I talked earlier, we could probably pull the money from the town park projects, fund. Maybe cover it that way. Right now, that would be the only that we could think about. Without using the grants, and I don't know any other grants that we can apply for this time.
Well, something needs to be done. What will that be done?
It's a separate fund, so like every year, if the town has a project, they use it for that. If the park has a project that they need money for, then use it for that, so. the park doesn't have any need right now, it's only 8,000, I think there's 18 in there. So there'll still be money left in it, and I think totally that would happen, so.
Well, I really believe it's a project we need to get going on.
To find a big motion.
Maybe most of them, we go ahead and some of them, they do, we still want to share with them for the council.
Second. All in favor? Right. Environmental solutions for the lagoons.
Okay, so I've been working on with Wes, our certified operator of wastewater plant. And I finally got a copy of MSDF sheet that kind of gives us an idea of what is in the product. So Wes reviewed it and he said, I hope it doesn't have a polymer in it. And it has a polymer in it. So I'll tell you what that means. If there's a polymer in it, this is what he said. I'm just going to read how he responded. So it may have some small effect on the sludge reduction. However, it does, coagulant, not a polymer. However, it does contain coagulant, which will settle the sludge. When you measure it with a sludge judge, it will appear to have reduced the sludge depth significantly. However, the sludge will be much more dense. So it's not actually getting rid of anything, it's just packing it down. And it will not be effective after the pond drops below 40 degrees. So I don't think treating this year is the best idea. Next year, I don't really know how much reduction you will get. He said we can ask what the percentage of reduction by weight is. So we get it, he'll have to give us a different measurement. Because right now, and he has a bad, I always tell him I want it in on an email so that I have the information, because I have so many different things I'm doing that I can't remember, what he tells me. And so this is what I said. This is what he told me when I asked him about it, that he thinks it would be reduced by 60 to 70% in the first year, which is a huge amount.
Yeah,
So I'm going to follow up with him and ask him if he does it by weight, what the reduction would be.
if you get the same result numbers with the same numbers, you do it by weight.
Yeah. Because, and that Scott did go out and sludge judge out there. So the largest amount where they judged was 36 inches. And the least amount was 6 inches.
And which pond is that?
So 36-inch, so pond one obviously has more in it because that's the one where everything comes in.
Yeah,
So that pond ranges from 36 inches to 18 inches. So it, and of course it has 2 foot.
Yeah.
Of waste. But, I don't know, $18,000 on a product we're not sure is gonna do anything. But this, if we tell him that we're gonna hold off until spring, it gives Wes and I some time to research it a little bit more and see if it actually is gonna do anything or not. I mean, because if it just makes it more dense, I don't see we're gaining, we're gonna gain some volume in the pond, but eventually it's gonna have to be removed.
Yeah.
And which is what we're trying to avoid, having to remove it. So if it needs to be removed, it needs to be removed. And why would we spend $18,000
just back down.
just to pack it down to get
Yeah,
a year or two of volume?
well, I think we definitely have to just wait for spring anyway. We're getting down to cooler nights anyway.
Yeah, the temperature at night was running about 50 degrees, so, and I know the lake water's a lot colder. Oh, it said it this weekend, it's a lot colder, I don't know what the temperature is.
Well, what's the con if we delay it? The only thing that would happen.
No
if we
con.
delay it, For the sake of $18,000 up front, or delay from 2,000.
We're in the same boat, last year,
Well,
this
I
year.
was thinking about offering to do half this year and half next, so I'll make 18,000 anyway. So we'll just put it all off until next spring and see what kind of numbers he comes up with, or if we can find something better between there.
Right, that's what I think, just hold on.
We have an idea of what we do plan. Or what we gotta do.
Well, I differently is just cleaning. Going in and cleaning it out.
Dredging it out.
And this product is only works really on biological. So anything that's in there that isn't biological, it is not going to do anything for it. And that is the pond where all the wipes are. So if we're gonna do a pond, we should probably do pond 2 and not pond 1, because you're still gonna have all the wipes in there that are not gonna, take over 100 years to biodegrade.
Yeah.
So
It makes more sense to dredge pond 1 and create pond 2.
right. That's my thought. I'm not a scientist or anything, but
Well, you don't have to be a scientist to know that the wet wipes are not gonna go away with bioengineering.
so I will let him know that we're moving on.
New business. Trick or treat.
So we always do it on Halloween.
We
I think
wait,
it's Friday this year, isn't it?
I'm not sure, we always do it on October 31st, 5 o'clock
Yeah,
to 7.
it's a Friday. 31st. That'll be exciting. Nobody will be home to go candy.
I'll be home.
All right, we'll walk to Cheryl's house.
Yeah, I average about somewhere between 150
I bet you
and
get a lot.
200 kids a year.
We can hardly anybody that goes to home.
Come over to my house, bring
We're like-
candy.
We only have like maybe 2 kids.
We did that one year. We came up here and sat
Well, yeah.
because we weren't getting any kids and we had all this candy and I'm like, I am not keeping
Yeah,
this candy
they're all
all
at my
weekend.
house, I can call.
Yeah, well, because they go to where they can get the most for the buck. So a lot of them will go to like subdivisions because younger families, people are there,
Well,
you can get more done.
that's what I was when I moved here 30 years ago. We had the Craigs, we had Bodenafers, they had tons of kids. So we had all those kids.
Yeah.
Now they're all gone and we don't have any kids anymore.
When the Wake College was still here, I had 403 one Halloween. Yeah,
I would not
It
have
was-
got candy for
it
that.
was
I'd shut my
great.
door.
it was great.
That was before the candy was so expensive. Now you get fun size and it's.
Well,
it's
if you do that with your kids, that's still a lot of candy, you know.
no,
We had to make several trips to the store to buy more fun.
so.
Rex fuel card for out of town trips for the marshal's office.
So we've already got an account with Wex, but it's only the local marathon.
You might explain what wax is.
It's so that,
It's like a team card. isn't it?
yeah, so Indiana has a quantity purchase agreement with Wex to provide the fuel card, so there's no cost to getting things signed up and all that stuff. But we can use the card at almost any gas station. And like I went down to Indianapolis last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't know. It's been whatever. Anyways, I was at the conference down at the Sheridan on the north side of it. Had a full tank when I went down, came back with about 41 miles till empty. So we don't have a gas card if we're out of town that's gonna work. And so we have to use our own money and they get reimbursed. And I'm
And
going,
this Wex card that you're using now for here,
right,
what needs to be done to that to expand it?
I don't know if it can be expanded or if we can just open this new account. And then that gives us access to, I don't know, there's probably 50, 60, maybe different stations that we could access. Everything from 7-Elevens to Circle K's and Flying J's and you name the truck stop or Love's Truck Stop,
Have you not had this before?
Wex, yeah,
It works everywhere.
yeah,
I don't understand.
yeah. So
So why haven't you had this before?
we've never had one.
No,
So they're gonna-
And,
they just reimbursed you all the time? Is that
Yeah.
how that went?
yeah. So I got this in the mail and I thought, you know what? It's time to get a card. So
Absolutely, yeah.
when we go out of town, we've got a fuel card.
Does this replace the local fuel card?
It would, yeah, yeah,
So we only need one card instead of two.
I mean, we could eliminate the local card. The only time we use the local station is kind of based on the gas prices. So if it's cheaper to get what we pay for the town, bulk tank, then we get it there.
But if this card replaces that one, this is one card. Okay.
Right, yeah,
As long as, well, if they gotta participate, if they're,
it's a marathon, yeah,
right?
marathon's on there.
Yeah, there's like 110 people on this list.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just something that, when we went on our trip to Utah and, when we went down to Indianapolis, it's just so much easier. Or would be so much easier.
So by using this, do we get any rebates or anything using the card, or just like it'll just get?
Yeah, I don't think there's any
You
reason.
just, so you just get
Is
the,
this the one
Just
you
the
have to pay
convenience
the
of-
tax, the Indiana tax on?
That's the one I currently have.
So this one wouldn't be that?
I would have to look into it. I have it.
It's,
Yeah,
since it's coming through Indiana QPA, there's probably no tax, is my guess. With a quantity purchase agreement with the state, it's probably tax free.
well, it makes sense because like DNR and IDEM, they drive all over the state, they gotta be able to fill their cars up. State police.
I had a card from my house. I can go anywhere in state. You'll
And it may work out too that, the Lassus or the Circle K may be cheaper than the marathon here. So, you know, in the end, we may even be able to save more money depending on how the gas prices go and what we have with our town tank.
I mean,
make most of we approve the Flex card.
a second. All in favor? Aye. No solicitation in Rock City.
Yes, so that's me as well. Generally, and I was talking with Jenny about this last week. Because we had complaints of somebody going door to door selling cleaning products. About a week ago. We have not had anybody get a permit, she said, in quite some time. And they ended up coming and getting one. But I think there's a lot of cities and towns that just post a sign at each end of the town and say, no solicitations. And I think that would just be so much easier for the town, for the residents as a whole, because we always get phone calls when somebody's going door to door, right?
Just so you know, the state highway will take those signs down. Every time I put them up, they'll take them down.
Yeah. If we
So we'll have to figure out a way to put them up somewhere.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna take them down.
I'll call a guy from the approved signs and see what it says.
Yeah.
But,
I think
You're gonna have to get it in writing.
if we can just make the town no solicitation and be done with it. I think it just make everybody's lives easier. Unless people enjoy it. Having somebody, some stranger, these last three guys, two were from Alabama and one was from Kentucky, going door to door selling cleaning products. So that in itself made me kind of curious.
Well,
Yeah.
plus he didn't even know what town he was in.
Yeah, he thought he was in Walkerville, so. So I think it'd just be easier if we did a ordinance that no solicitation.
Put it on the electronic board. No solicitation,
Yeah, we could just leave it up there all the time.
yeah. Or revolving messages, and then don't have to worry about what the state tells you.
Don't we have the, like, welcome to Rock City showings at the
Like, I know there's one over by Stolen Sellers.
Yeah, that one's but there's really no place to put signs up there on it. Could maybe put it on the
Chamber
one
sign,
the chamber has on the.
Welcome to Rome City, no solicitation.
I like your idea better, Mark. No solicitation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think our electronic sign would be our best option. That's a good idea, thank you.
but for the amount of people that we get that come solicit, it's not very often, but it's often enough, and they never have permits. Until we make contact with them and say, do you have a permit? You need to go get one.
well, sometimes they say they do have. But
But there's nothing. up
they
here.
don't. have-
Yeah, and so, generally, once they get everybody together, they end up disappearing. They don't come in and get the permit.
Well, my daughter-in-law asked one guy if he had a permit, and he says, my company takes care of that.
Yeah. And that was the first response I got from the guy, that I dealt with last week. And I said, well, nobody's been to town hall to get one, so.
Halloween candy for truck or treat for Rome City Elementary, October 17th, 5:37.
Yes, I reached out to the elementary to see if they were gonna need this year again, for Halloween candy. She said that, they have not had really anybody help them, with any candy for this year. So during last year, we spent $324 on candy for them. This year for the parade, this is just a comparison number. We spent $131 instead of 300 because I found Ravers has candy for like 89 cents for bags of candy. And so it definitely reduced the cost for like, and we spent more money on the parade because we had more people handing out money for the parade.
Yeah.
So in last year's parade, we did 283. So I didn't know what we wanted to spend if I bought a gift from Ravers at just such a low cost. No, obviously not spend $300 again, but like kind of happy medium if we wanted to contribute to the school for their trunk or treat.
Paul, you're gonna do it again this year, right? Or not?
I am leaving to go to Avon for an vehicle extraction class, so, Rich and that's Friday night, that'll be you. Yeah, so Rich and Dustin will be doing that this year.
They're going to just put a cap on the amount. The most, the spend. No, I think that's really good.
Reasonable to it.
I would think so, yeah.
Make most of my kids for the home city elementary school. For a trick or treat man. Now I'm going to do it now.
A second. All in favor? Aye.
I don't know if a motion was made for the solicitation
What if you get an ordinance?
ordinance.
So, it wouldn't be enforceable until we get that.
Right.
So Dustin,
We need an ordinance.
Okay.
No solicit.
That's where I'm going.
2026 budget.
So I met with Kelly Owen. Regarding the budget. I have in your packets a copy of the last year's budget and then a copy of this year's budgets. I highlighted what had been changed. The rainy day fund, she made me put it to 0 because there's not much funding in there. She said to just let it ride for a couple years since we don't really put anything into that, and then just that ride and try to build. It's similar thing with this appropriation reduction. she said we needed to do that for the local road and street fund and not spend anything out of it in the 2026 budget. And just let that carry over into 27. That's what that resolution is for, yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of changes. Basically, it was just salaries and, aside from Lee's, that we had discussed that she did like an 8.3% increase last year. And I'm getting all that information. I was gonna send it out tomorrow for the spreadsheet that Nick had used last year. I've got everybody's current current pay in there. What I didn't change anything else with in regard to percentages or anything. I just put the new thing in it, then any adjustments would be made. So that's really the only major changes. And so I just basically did like a 4% aside from Lee for salaries. And all of it wanted to increase the deputies more into general and out of the NDH. So we'll have to talk about if that percentage if you want to do that change.
So Daniel's payroll, his wages are split between general fund and the lit public safety fund. With Senate Bill 1, lit is eliminated in 2028.
Yeah.
Well, with that elimination goes half of his wages.
Yeah.
So I had put in to increase his wages in the general fund by 10,000 to try to
offset them.
to try to grow it by 2028 to basically save his job. The other issue that we're gonna have between now and 2028 is all the rest of my line items that Brenda moved out of the general fund into public safety or lit, which is training, equipment, clothing, you name it. Yeah, I mean, when they created that tax, it was to supplement our general fund.
Yeah.
Not replace it, and she replaced a lot of it. So, Social Security, marshal clothes, deputy clothes, part-time clothes, office supplies, ammunition, police maintenance, training equipment. Those, at some point, we have to try to work back into the general fund.
Are the line items still in there under general, or should you pull the line items out too?
She pulled the line items out. So Daniels is deputy 2, that's in there, or I'm sorry, this Dustin's deputy 3. Daniels is still in there, but all the other line items that I read off have been removed. So somehow we're gonna have to get that in the next 3 years, 2.5, whatever.
Yeah. We're having the same issue with one day ago with them.
But that's the $10,000 increase. Is try to,
We might have to have a fundraiser for pothole funds.
yeah.
We're gonna go back to where we were 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not going through it again, just so you know.
Yeah.
Don't pave the roads, just crush them and turn them back into
Gravel.
There you go.
We'll get you a K card, like the red, my K. I did speak with Representative Babbitt, and I asked him if they were gonna be looking into Senate Bill 1 and what they were gonna do for the towns under 3,500. I said, because the town you know today won't be here in 5 years. He goes, what? I go, we're gonna be operating on a third of the amount of money we have. A third.
Yep.
We cannot operate that way. I said, you know it, you worked here for 25 years, you know how lean our budgets are. So basically, why did you approve it? But he said, well, I didn't realize. I said, well, I'm telling you, something needs to be done and soon. Let's not wait until we're all in bankruptcy court, because that's where we're gonna be. The unincorporated have to go under the counties, that's what they'll have to do, or the townships. No. I guess they tried to get rid of townships and they didn't get that done, so now they're gonna try to get rid of towns instead. I don't know. It's not-
I don't know what they're doing, Mark. Other
I
than,
don't think even the legislatures know from
yeah,
the response I got.
do you need your approval for the budget estimate?
Yes.
What do you know? Can we go over yet? Do they need to be approved today?
No, the pre-budget, the budget estimate.
Yeah, it's your budget hearing, so it has to be approved. And what it is you can approve it, and then if you decide at the next hearing you want to reduce something, you can reduce it, you just cannot increase. it.
Right now, the increase is 1.96%. Those are the ones.
I didn't think so. I thought it was reasonable.
I tried to keep everything as close to as line as it was without like, because I knew that everything's gonna be starting to get like nickel down, so.
Oh, no, my nickel down. Think about that.
I'll make a motion to really approve the 2026 budget estimate.
I second. All in favor? Aye. Appropriation reduction resolution 2025-02. Whereas it has been shown that certain existing appropriations now have unobliged balances that will not be needed for the purposes for which appropriated. Now therefore, section 1, be it resolved by the Rome City Town Council, the fiscal body of Rome City, Indiana, taxing unit, Noble County, that the following existing appropriations be reduced in the following amounts. The amount of reduction requested for major budget classifications, capital outlays, $89,999. The amount of reduction approved by fiscal body, $89,999. For the local road street fund, $89,999. Amount approved by fiscal body, $89,999. Adopted this day, 2025.
What do you know if you moving from?
I'm just not spending them. They're staying in that fund, but they can't be spent,
For the whole of the year?
correct, ever 27.
Somewhere from it's going to see that for 2026.
Correct.
Well, you can if it's appropriated.
Yeah,
If
okay,
you're appropriated. Under the open road and streets. You appropriated 65,000, so
Yes.
65,000 could be spent next year if needed. But nothing more this year. Yeah. And I do it at the Conservancy. If there's line items I'm not gonna spend any money out of, I just do it and then it helps fund the budget for next year. Cause they know you're not gonna spend it. You know that.
but I'm just not good at explaining it yet.
Yeah.
You need to say.
We got to do it. Make a motion to approve reduction resolution 2025-02.
Second. All in favor? Holiday party suggestions?
Last year we did it at Downs Landing. And it turned out fine. I don't know what everybody else's opinion is.
What do you think?
I think those.
How do you?
I mean, I think it's nice to spend money in the
Local.
local. They're paying taxes to us.
Yeah,
They close the building, they close it for the night.
If
of the
you
after
enjoy it.
party.
We'll go with them. And if it's all possible.
Yeah.
I'll call them next week.
and I'll get some ideas from everybody. I think the only major complaint last year was that people didn't get their food at the same time, but it's a tiny kitchen, so you can't expect 30 people to get all their food at the same time. But aside from that, I think they did a really good job.
And we've already done a resolution.
No, you gotta do this is a different resolution,
Different
I'll explain it.
resolution?
So it's resolution 2025-03. And it's a resolution of the Rome City Town Council to dissolve the Rome City Industrial Development Corporation and move any monies into the redevelopment commission. So Dave Abbott was on this industrial development group and he came to me and he said, I'm too busy, I cannot be on it anymore. And then we got to looking into it and I'm like, well, I have no minutes. I have nothing from this group. I don't believe they do anything. So we have like $14,000 in this account at Lake City Bank and Dave is the only one that has access to it, which is not correct. It should have been the clerk treasurer. So there's a lot of issues. Bill and I looked into it and it's not had its incorporation for, I don't know, since 2005 or something.
Okay.
So since we're not doing anything with it, I said we need to just dissolve that industrial group and take the money and put it into the redevelopment commission that actually meets and
Yes.
we do stuff with the money. I mean, we don't have a lot of money to do stuff with, but we do actually do things. We have the facade grant program through them. So the monies can be distributed out. This way, I don't even know how that money would be distributed, but so the rest of the resolution says, whereas it has become apparent that the town council and for the town of Rome City have no need for the Rome City Industrial Development Corporation, whereas the town council wishes to dissolve and close the Lake City Bank account for the Rome City Industrial Development Corporation, whereas it is necessary to deposit the funds of said account into the Rome City Redevelopment Commission's bank account to be used by the commission for the Indiana Code. Now therefore it be resolved that the Rome City Industrial Corporation will be dissolved on this day, and all funds held by same will be deposited into the Rome City Redevelopment Commission's bank account. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption by this board, read and adopted this 15th day of September of 2025. So if you'd like to do a motion and you agree with that, move forward.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-03.
A second. All in favor? Aye.
Both we've got so.
Yeah. One in the ordinance file and then I'll take one to the bank. So it's another one. And this saves Dave from having to go to the bank too and close it out. As long as it's something's resignation. It reminds me.
Okay, department reports. Town manager.
We had 9 meetings for the month. We had 8 building permits issued, 1 generator, 1 roof line change, 1 handicap ramp, 1 demo, 2 electrical, 1 deck and a house addition. We had no plan commission meeting in August. BZA, we had a special exception approved on a short-term rental. Street yard setback approved for house addition. Accessory building size was approved, that was out, off Northport. The administrative appeal for the zoning decision on the Swainies will be heard Thursday. And then the Larry Weisenberger. There's no really update from what we had last year. They have a new attorney. We're waiting for an assigned court date on that. And, wait, to see what happens. We did get the appeal document from Swainies for what her position is. And I don't know, did you read it, Dustin?
Yeah.
So the gist that I got out of it was that they're considering it was not totally demolished because there was still a well on the lot and they connected into the well.
Yeah, they're looking at that in the same language in the UDO about the work compliant, if there's some structure remaining raised or there's all the weird buzzwords.
Yeah, I don't think a well is,
But they're hanging their hat on that still and they're from the fire code thing. I did look it up. It looks like it's 3 feet now, not 5 feet. I was like 5 feet from the property.
ours is 5 feet.
Oh, it's the town. Okay.
The town.
State code is like 3 feet. I thought
State code is 3 feet.
so it's that. Okay.
Correct,
And
Mr. Farmer?
And then supposedly he did remove the bathroom. I talked to Kruger today, his other. That Carlson and Kruger both. But I just thought it was a little odd that he removed it before the listing went up. And that was the first amount that we had that existed in the first place, not to be. What we told you couldn't have it, but I don't know, unless you knew it was going to go for it. But supposedly it's been.
But the
removed.
listing said he had it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they
So-
only removed it for listing.
Yeah, they were
listing.
Correct.
Removed it.
Uh-huh.
But then he listed it with that.
And he still hasn't given us the
Yeah.
right to go in there and look to see.
Well, we tried to schedule court, but he does want to. Kruger and also Subanes wants to move on this route too for Niedermeyer's attorney. They want to set up a phone conference with you and I before Thursday to see if there's any way to resolve it short of $1,000 meeting.
Well, looks like wait till the last minute. Okay,
I don't know, so he wants to try to set something up.
pretty confident I'm not going on vacation this week, right?
It's- You can get on the phone conference.
Sure. Okay,
But yeah, so they'd like to try to, either go college, try to get a resolution short of. Assuming, he even mentioned that.
well,
you know,
Baines is gonna be out of the country, which was the whole reason why he wanted to have it.
Yeah, he's got an associate that's gonna come in Thursday.
Okay.
Somebody was coming, so. But he mentioned that we can come to terms on what the fines will be. And some form or fashion save and have to tear the house down, but that's. See if there's anything to resolve. So.
Right,
Yeah, that's where that one sits. Weisenberger. She sent me the updated packet of our record that's been added to many times. So it's a couple extra 100 pages than what it was. So I just go through it, make sure it's all.
and I will have a difficult time putting in the people's names if I don't have the actual recording.
I think you're all sent in Dropbox. I gotta figure out how to send it. Send it in Dropbox. I can't.
I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna remember back to, I don't even know what month that was.
That I think they're gonna leave it at this board member and not even identified board members who sent. And they've been listed as a board member, A, whatever. I mean, while they're with them, but I'm not sure it's what I sent them on the side.
Okay, good.
I need like an hour and a half or so. I just sit down and go through it. It's hard to find that. So that one, hopefully we get that. Done and then, yeah, so.
Right. So for the Conservancy District, we had our first budget hearing in August. Pay bills, post gateway, we did the annual dam inspection on Friday, August 15th, everything is fine, no problems there. We have a new engineer, this is the first time he's been out. So he's been a little more time out there than I wanted to spend out there, but when it was 95 degrees, it was awful. Park board agenda minutes, type them. We had the concert in the park on August 2nd with Wise Guys and hit food trucks. It went really well. We had a great turnout. We had 10 teams for the pickleball tournament there in Chautauqua. And the playground equipment is installed at Lakeside Park now. And we have bought rubber mulch to put around that. So that's a project that the board's gonna work on each year, trying to do a little bit more to get that all into that type of mulch instead of the wood mulch. It's expensive, but we don't have to keep replacing it every year. No trails, they're working on trails from Kenneville to Avila and Grove City to LaGrange County. LaGrange has that, they got that huge grant for theirs. I think they're in the process of still buying property. So once they start putting down trail, I think they're gonna start in Topeka and hopefully come towards Wokeville. The chamber, Town Buffalo out here is starting to chip off, so the gentleman that painted that for us in 2016, I think. It's Corey Bowen, and he's still around, so he said he would do it this winter. So hopefully we'll have that for next spring. Brightspeed's still installing fiber around town. The watershed plant, we're still working on getting that meeting with the industrial park people. I think hopefully this fall, we'll get some time freed up. I think the companies were just really busy this summer and have not been able to get a date together. Limberlost Landing subdivision, the sewer station's been installed, the testing's complete. I know that NIPSCO is out there today running power to it. Because currently power for the station is connected through what was Jim Wolf's house, so probably it's connected through the rental house that Mark owns now. So we've got to get that switched out so the town can take that over. And the plat's been recorded. We've named the drive. The private road's now going to be called Cane Basin Drive because we had to do new addresses. There weren't enough numbers left. So those letters have went out and been assigned. The sign's been purchased and should be coming in hopefully this week. We'll get that put up. And then Attorney Everhart is working on an agreement with them to take over that sewer extension.
Yeah.
And we've started working on annexation, and we're hopeful that we can have everything done by February 1st. It may require an extra meeting because there's certain public hearings we have to have, and we need to speed the process up so that it's done by March 1st. So that it can be on this year's, 2026 tax rolls. I mean, if we don't get it done, it's not a big deal. It's just we lose out on that tax. Attended the Noble County Hazardous Mitigation Planning meeting. And a couple times a year, I go through the short-term rental sites to make sure that there's somebody out there running that hasn't gotten approval. And I also check to see if they've added bathrooms or bedrooms to their listing, because you can check that through Beacon. That tells you how many bathrooms and bedrooms are on there, and then if they put more in than what's on Beacon, I know they're adding to it without a building permit, so I tag on the building permit and I tag it to the assessor so that he can get it put on there. I sent another letter out to the video store to clean up, because the first one I sent, he cleaned up just around the sign and didn't do anything around the building. So I got a company that comes in and cleans properties up like that to come in and give me a quote last month. I sent that quote to the owner, hoping that he would just do it. But the deadline was yesterday or today, and I haven't heard anything from him. So I think it's gonna be, town's gonna pay it, hire the company to do it, and then we're gonna have to put it on his taxes to get it cleaned up. And then probably next year we'll have to mow it and then put it on his taxes to get it cleaned up. I can't, I've tried, this is the third letter I've sent out to And I get no response, except I guess he did go around the sign such as it was. It's not great looking. I met with Kara Sisson from the Housing Authority. They had a runner they were evicting, and then she asked for a hearing on the eviction notice, and the town manager is the hearing judge. So we had to set an eviction notice hearing. She did not come to the meeting or the hearing meeting, so we sent the eviction notice out to her, and I don't know if she's probably still there. Well,
Yeah, but, Daniel got her served.
you got it served.
Yeah. Yeah, but yes, she's still there as far as I know, so they're gonna end up having to go through the courts to finalize it.
Mhm. And then I attended a water quality meeting at the Kendall wastewater plant, and Heinz Craft has installed their pretreatment plant and it is now in operation. And Kendall has only been out of permit a couple times this year, which is a huge improvement from
Yes.
what it was last year.
Yes.
So everything seems to be working much better in Kendall than it ever has in the past.
Yeah, I would say last year, they were only in compliance, maybe. last year.
Yeah, it was bad, but.
They were just-
But they have a new wastewater treatment guy there, and he's really conscientious. They all do a good job.
It's been-
So
it's
it's
been-
been a really good communication. Us and them, so. Hopefully it continues. Monthly report for the wastewater and street. For the inflow, we had 1,117,022 gallons enter the plant. We had 2,517,950 gallons exit. Obviously, we're starting to get everything out so that we can hold for the winter. That's why the numbers are what, 4 there difference?
Yeah.
We have 8 call outs, 40 locates for the month. They didn't pull any pumps. In August, they replaced one. Obviously, they pulled one pump because it says they replaced one drain. Okay, Scott, she should have one on there. They excavated an area for the teeter totter at Lakeside and assembled all the playground equipment, installed the mulch. They hauled brush one day. We excavated for 2 park benches and formed up to pour the slabs for the benches. So one bench went to Lakeside Park by the pickleball/basketball court. The other one is going out in the dog park. They worked on repairing the valves between pond 1 and 2. They had to run a 6-inch trash pump to get the water level low enough to do that valve repair work.
Yeah.
And then they had to replace contactors in the lift station over off of Central because floats. So the people were flushing wipes and the wipes were getting stuck on the floats and it was causing the pumps to run constantly. So it burned up the contactors. So they fixed contactor, they fixed the floats, they kind of set the floats a little bit higher in the water, so hopefully, yeah, that the wipes will go off the sides. We sent our normal letter, please don't flush, anything but the 4 Ps. But we still have problems. That's it for me.
Vehicle mileage, squad 1, 3,445 miles, squad 2, 1,086, squad 3, 236, squad 4, 1,720 miles. Hours worked, I worked 213 and a half. Dustin 145, Daniel 174. Part-time officers 8, and reserves 27 and a half. Town ordinance violations, we had 2 abandoned vehicles. Both were inoperable vehicles. Or one was inoperable. On Front Street. Had a 72-hour tag, it was towed by the owners. And then I think one that was left at Gaff Park that they tagged, Dan were tagged. So we've had a problem with people parking at Gaff Park and then leaving a little note on their windshield that says, night riding on the trail, which the trail's closed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've been tagging their cars. Hopefully they'll get the point. Business checks 66, warrants 1, park security checks 95, assisted other departments 17 times. Special details, it's 1 there, it should be 3. Community policing events 9. Traffic tickets 8, written warnings 71. VIN checks 3, 1 hand check, 1 handgun license, 9 golf cart inspections, 2 ORV inspections. Complaints, 4 animal complaints, 8 miscellaneous complaints, 4 suspicious vehicles, 1 suspicious activity, 2 disabled vehicles, 3 welfare checks, 2 family fights or disturbances, 1 accident, 5 medic assists, 3 911 calls, 1 alarm, 6 driving complaints, 1 citizen assist, 1 mental health complaint, 1 found property. The case is open. August 1st was criminal mischief. August 6th, driving while suspended. August 9th, reckless driving. August 11th, driving while suspended. August 14th, identity theft. August 18th, driving while suspended and operating without proof of financial responsibility. August 27th was a theft, and August 28th was a fraud. Meetings attended. Of course, town council meeting. I sat through a webinar, education versus training, when to teach and when to train. Park board meeting, and then I also attended the Noble County Mental Health collaboration. That's not on there. Training attended or conducted. We did firearms qualification makeup for duty, off duty, and retirees. I was out at Action Target. So Rich Bailey actually went out to Action Target, law enforcement training camp in Provo, Utah, or Spanish Fork, Utah, from the 18th to the 22nd of August, which was quite an event of 4 days of training with competitive shooters and people that are spent their life training firearms. So that was awesome stuff to learn. And then on August 26th, we did taser training here at the department, special events and activities. We had traffic control for a funeral procession, Chicago Days on the 9th, and Rome City's elementary disaster drill, evacuation drill, where they came here to the town hall. And of course, the watch squad 1, squad 3 set up barricades for the parade, moved barricades after the parade for the block party, and then picked up the barricades away at the end of the block party. It was a long day. For incidences that occurred in town, in May we had 269, June 227, July 233, and in August 210. Outside of town, May we had 166, June 128, July 119, and in August 102. The sheriff's department had 20 in May, 26 in June, and 29 in July, 32 in August in town. Outside of town, they had 75 in May, 74 in June, 55 in July, and 60 in August. The last thing is the speed summary for Front Street. Total value of cars, 20,715. More speeds, but right. Average value per day was 668.2. Minimum speed was 5, maximum speed was 16.
Well, that's better.
That was between August 1st and 31st.
Right here.
I had, my line on 5 because I had to go down to French Lake and back, that just contributed, that was like a couple 100 miles each way.
Claims presented for payment. Town funds, $158,419.09. Sewer operating, $63,524.07.
Make a motion to pay the claims presented for payment.
Second. All in favor?
He's signing it. Did we ever hear back from St. Gasper on extension from sewer and stuff?
Yeah, they're not doing it
Mm-hmm.
because they already started the project. Well, they're putting 2.4 million into the building. That sounds like a drop in the bucket to me.
The next town council meeting will be October 13th. 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Rome City Town Hall. No motion for adjournment.
And we can move there.
Second. In favor? Aye.